When Bike Social member Dwayne Grizzle asked us for advice on how to ride in the city, we figured what better way than to send him across London with ex-Merseyide Police Sergeant Dave Yorke to the fantastic bike shed.
Dwayne, so right across central London,
Yeah.
west to east, 15 miles, took us just over an hour about.
Yeah, hour and 10 minutes, man. Yeah.
How was that?
It was good. The traffic was a little bit of a nightmare. It's getting quite hot in terms of the traffic and stuff like that. I weren't quite sure when to filter through the lanes and stuff like that, but apart from that, I think it was quite good. It was quicker than I thought it would be, actually.
It was, wasn't it? It's a little bit of knowledge of where the traffic flows
Yeah.
and where it doesn't flow.
Yeah.
And filtering when we needed to, I thought, really.
Yeah.
I thought it was quite good, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I must admit. I was sitting at the back, I didn't ever feel as though I was like, uh-oh. But if we went right back to the start,
Yeah.
so remember we were coming down Hanger Lane, wasn't it, or the Hanger Lane extension bit,
Yeah.
down towards the A4, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we got that there. So, and I think we went for an overtake. People call them filtering, but it's not. It's overtaking. It's on the offside, isn't it? Because there was static traffic down there, and there was the chevrons, and they're bordered by a hash line.
Yeah.
And the van was like indicating right.
Yeah.
I think it was a scooter that actually went for it, and then he didn't go. The van just stayed still, and we just rolled through on it. It's not something I'd have probably done. I just held it there a little bit. But then when we did it again, we moved on further down the road. The same thing happened again almost, but there was throwback arrows on the road, and I think you seen them that time and just went, there's no point going for the outside, for the overtake, because there's a bit of a difference between overtaking and filtering down the middle. You still got to be really careful because people are looking for the off at maybe junctions that maybe 100, 200 yards, and they're looking for their off maybe. So we just got to be really careful. But the pace up there was really nice. And then we just hit the traffic, didn't we, all the way in.
Yeah, from there.
So what do you think about riding then when we're not filtering?
I think I was a bit more cautious than I probably would be normally. I was sitting back in the traffic when normally I think I would try to filter through and trying to get past and trying to get to the front of the lane more generally. The one issue with the traffic is that sometimes the cars are quite close to the line. So it makes it quite difficult to get past.
Yeah.
So I think in those instances, I probably will sit back a little bit, see if there's an opening, and if I can go through, then I probably will try and take that space.
Yeah.
But it's knowing when and having that kind of confidence, I guess, to do it.
It is. One thing I looked at was when we're riding down there, if we're not going to filter, just think about moving around in your lane a little bit. You can see what's behind you. You get a good look down there anyway. Then if you're sitting rather than just sitting behind one thing, but also drivers can, if your headlight is appearing in that mirror, then not the case of the van, but certainly the rear view mirror, it just switches them onto. Oh, there's a motorbike here. It might want to filter at some point. It just switches them onto us being there. But in reality, a lot of the stuff down there was quite tight, wasn't it? All the way down the A4. Did you see that bloke on the scooter?
Yeah, he was in front of me trying to squeeze through the tiniest gap. That I don't know how he managed to get through.
Yes, he managed to get through because he made the van move. Everything's stationary, wasn't it? Everything's stationary. And he's there in his best shorts and his best baseball boots. The fella's almost manoeuvring this van in the lane, isn't he? Just trying to get out to help him, and he's folding his mirrors in, and you just think, you're not going to get very far.
In those instances, I think I would just wait, because I don't really see the point trying to squeeze through the gap. Especially on a motorbike, unless you're going to fold the mirrors in, then you have to fold it back and then check that it's in the right height and everything else. And it's pointless, really, because you're in traffic. You better get a few 10 meters or so, or 20 meters, but then you're going to get stuck again. So if you just wait, then it will open up and you can usually go. So
it was really good. I think we had a couple of drivers sort of behind us, just wanting to move in. You can see them wanting to move into our lane. And if it doesn't suit us to help them, then we just need to take up a bit of a lane on the outside, just to discourage them to make their decision to get in behind us, such, rather than give them that half a yard. If they take that half a yard on us, we're starting to get pushed then where we don't want to go.
Yeah.
So, and that's for cars coming behind us. Other than that, I thought the filtering aspect of it was really good. Especially when we come down Commercial Street, didn't we?
Yeah.
Just on the run up to here. And you see that scooter come down the outside of us. What me and you had seen was a car trying to do a U-turn or some sort of exit out of a side road, wasn't it? And it's trying to do that, and then there's this big long scaffolding lorry.
Yeah.
Scooter whizzes through onto the wrong side of the road against the opposing traffic, and you just held back. And as the scaffold lorry moves off, lo and behold, to get round this car which was sticking out, it moved right into where you would have been. Like, it was like really good. So
for me, I tend to not follow the scooters because they take a few more risks than I would prefer to do. So they'll whiz through the traffic and trying to like go left side, right side and everything else. And I just think, well, what's the point in risking it when I can just hand back a little bit, see the space, and I'll take the space rather than trying to whiz through traffic and end up getting knocked off my bike or something like that.
That's it, risk v reward, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just risk v reward. What's the risk of me doing this? What am I going to get out of it? You know, what am I going to get out of this? Is it for the space of a van? When we come down through Earls Court, again, the chances there to go down the offside, but we're looking ahead, aren't we?
Yeah.
And we can see there's vans parked on the offside. There's a bus on the near side. There's people aren't even waiting for crossings, are they? They just cross in the because it's a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. Everyone's going quite slow, and it was quite spaced out down there for a change today. They're coming across, so we don't need to be really filtering in that situation because we're moving along with the traffic quite easy, and just that little lane change, if we need to, just gets us through it, doesn't it? And then onto the river, it just goes really tight, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Over Vauxhall Bridge, wasn't it?
Yes.
We went from really, really heavy traffic, didn't we, to over the bridge, turn left. So literally paralleling the traffic we've just been on. We're on empty roads.
Yeah.
All the way through.
It's quite a change from the traffic that was earlier.
And we're ostensibly going the same way, all we are is over the river.
Yeah.
And it's just that little bit of knowledge. I think if you're doing the same commute every day, you might think, oh, I know that. That way is not the way that Google Maps would send you. But you think, I know it's a far easier way to ride. And that local knowledge lets you see what traffic flow is and what it's doing.
I think the issue for me sometimes is if you're using sat-nav, it's a bit hard to then follow what's happening around you. So in terms of the environment, the traffic flow, you lose the kind of sense in terms of what's happening around you a little bit, the kind of 360 kind of oversight of what's happening. But when you know the route, it makes it a lot easier to just be looking up and being more aware of what's around you.
Yeah, if you know what you're doing. I think I'll take it back to doing VIP escorts. You'd be running down the road and you would know that there's a junction to the left.
Yeah.
It's a residential junction, nothing ever comes out of that junction. Would we need to deal with that in the same way as we would deal with a huge junction? No. A quick look, do we need to deal with anything? No. So we know that's a quiet road. Once you've approached that junction, say, yeah, it's the same. The fact that you know that junction there, it's a plus anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're not just blindly bailing forward.
Yeah.
We are literally just checking what we know to be, but keeping your eyes behind you as well for the scooters who might want to filter.
Yeah.
We did that, and then we got traffic lights in the city as well. Good, bad.
It seems to change quite quickly because some of them you can get to the traffic light and you can either get through quite easily, or you can see that it's going to change. So you have to like slow down in enough time to stop, or you'll stop, and then as you're about to start, if there's like 2 or 3 cars in front of you, it changes again.
Yeah.
So it's quite staccato in terms of like the movement around where the traffic lights are. So it can be a little bit frustrating with the traffic lights, but I guess it's one of those things you have to just deal with.
Yeah, I mean, you could overtake and get to the front. And loads of people go past that advanced stop line, go past the stop line and go into the advanced stop line, which is for pedal cycles, isn't it? And people do that. Technically, once the lights are red, if you go past that stop line into that area, it's a red light offence you're committing. If you do that. Whereas the only way you can actually go in and stop in there is if the lights are green and for some reason you enter it and then they become red because traffic's backed up in front of you or what have you, and you're in that zone, and you can stop in there quite legitimately. But other than that, it's just for pedal cycles. There was a lad came down the outside, I think on the embankment, and he tried to dive into the front. There just wasn't a gap there for him.
Yeah.
So as it was, the back end of his bike is sticking out into the traffic almost. I think he either just got in or he was just over the line, and it just looks untidy for what he's going to get in a 20-mile-an-hour road. So it's just a case of that with junctions. And as you say, the first thing I look at when I see a green light is it's going to go red.
Yeah.
If you think about that mindset and go, a green light will go red, you can just plan for it going red straight away.
Yeah.
And roll up to it, because it will happen. And in the city, it'll happen really quick. We didn't have to burst any lights today or anything like that, did we? There was no like sort of heavy brake or anything. It was all nice and smooth. Just be careful on red lights as well, because there's often box junctions after it, isn't it? They're all camera controlled in the city. Once you're in there, if they're photographing you.
Yeah, I've had that when driving cars and stuff before, so I want to try to be very careful. I think the issue is when you got the box junction and there's either cars or vehicles in front and they go really, really slow to try to anticipate the space ahead of them. And then when you're trying to follow, and then you can't really see that what they're planning to do when they stop. And then you end up stopping in the box junction. It's not your fault in a sense, but I guess you still get penalised for it, which is...
It's just that case of looking right ahead. We're quite lucky on bikes, aren't we? Because we've almost got... it's like X-ray vision.
Yeah.
We're sitting upright. We're not stuck in something with windows all around us. We're sitting up here, we can see over the top, and it's going, is that car going to make it out of the box junction? No. Well, I'm going to wait here.
Yeah.
So it's the same with crossings as well, pedestrian crossings. Am I going to be able to clear that crossing? Overtaking in zigzags. Talking about crossings, there's pedestrian crossing. It's got zigzags. All the traffic is backing up inside it. Without crossing over, can we overtake the cars that are stationary in the zigzag area?
I think I probably have done in the past.
Yeah, you're right, because you can.
Yeah.
You can. You just can't overtake that lead car that stopped to let pedestrians across.
Yeah.
And the problems with pedestrian crossings is whether the lights are red or green for them in the city. Once traffic comes to a halt around a pedestrian crossing, they'll cross the road, aren't they?
Yeah.
When was the last time you seen a green cross code advert on the telly? Remember? I don't know how old you are.
No, it's actually been quite a long time. I've not seen one in a very long time, actually.
We don't teach pedestrians anymore to cross the road. They just walk across the road with their iPhones in.
Yeah.
And they're just, I'm crossing the road. Even when traffic's dead, slow moving, still do. I've had people before where I've been doing offside overtakes on a police bike, and a pedestrian has just come darting straight out of traffic. You've just got to be ready to be on the brakes, haven't you, and not be going fast enough that you can't deal with it. And if you are going to overtake on that light, you need to be really giving everybody a gap.
So imagine if you've got the traffic and there's space on the inside. Can you kind of overtake on the inside if there's space there? Because for me, sometimes if you're in the middle on the right hand side and you've got lorries and stuff on this side and it's quite compact and quite tight, there isn't enough room to go on the right or on the left. Sometimes there's a little bit more space if there's no like turns or anything like that on that side.
It's that risk versus reward thing again, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's the risk of going down the near side is something turning into a junction.
Yeah.
Somebody going, oh, do you know what? I'll get out here out of a taxi. Cheers, mate. I'll get out here. The doors open straight away.
Yeah.
And you're in there. I see lots of people doing it. What happens if the traffic starts to move again and you're there? You're going to end up getting almost T-packed by the traffic, aren't you? They're going to pin you in.
Yeah.
They're stuck here now where you really don't want to be. Lorries and buses have on the back, don't they? Cyclists don't overtake the near side of this bus.
Yeah.
It applies for us as well.
Okay.
I'd say I don't like doing it, I must admit. I say, well, I was riding at the weekend there, come to a junction, albeit in the countryside, come to a junction, and it was an A road going onto an A road, like a T junction.
Okay.
So fanning out. All the traffic in front of me was out to the right, and it was going to turn right.
Okay.
Yeah, you could see it all. There was no HGVs going for a big swing or anything like that. And there was a gap to the near side, but that gap to the near side went into a lane where you could turn left into the junction. So then I did, but only after I made sure that nothing was coming that way.
Okay.
I'd sat there for a bit and had a look. So yeah, but it's risk versus reward, isn't it? So we come right up here into the sea, and once we get onto the South Bank, and then we start to meet cyclists, aren't we? Quite a few of them. So we don't want to get in their way in the advanced stop line. It's for them. They want to cycle into town, and loads of cyclists invest in cycling, don't they? They've got expensive bikes, expensive gear, and they're cycling 25 miles every day or whatever, 30 miles a day in and out of the city. And they're really good. No cyclists have passed the test. You just don't know how proficient they are, whether they're really good at cycling or whether they've got a bike just to beat COVID regs and not go public transport, and it's a really cheap way around the city. So just give them loads of space.
I think the thing is, sometimes as a new rider in a sense, I tend to follow what I see the more experienced riders doing. And a lot of times you see them going into that kind of extra space to be in front of the vehicles, so they can like get ahead and not be like trapped in. So I always thought that you're supposed to be able to do that. So I started to do the same thing. But then I guess finding out that you're not supposed to, unless it's like certain criteria, it does make sense. I'll have to watch that next time when I'm doing it.
It is, yeah, and it's just looking at signage, isn't it? And we came over London Bridge there today, and it's closed, isn't it? It's closed. The signage is really busy. So you come round by Borough Market, the people are queuing on the offside lane to go down towards the Shard and all that way. And we're on the left, and the lane's empty, isn't it? And unless you know the signage, unless you know what you're looking for, you're gonna miss out on real good opportunities. We don't need to filter. We don't need to overtake. We don't need to do anything that involves other road users. We can literally just use the signage. And I was on the Transport for London website last night. Got loads of up-to-date tips on what's open, what's not open. Just know your route, know how long it takes, and I can go that way. I can use that bus lane straight over there. While everyone's queuing, we were over the river and into the city in what, a minute? Really quick. So I'm back into where we wanted to be on that side of the river. It was quite good. And then after that, we were just going with traffic, weren't we? All the time. I think one of the big things we come at is when we're coming out to a giveaway line, there's maybe a car in front of us, say. When that car, if you're looking down the road going, here's a gap, here's a gap, here's a gap. Until that car moves, it's not your gap either. Until that car moves, it's not your gap. That gap is for that car if they want to take it, or for that bike. If they don't take it, we can't, can we? Because all that's going to happen is we're going to go, oh, here's a gap, this is massive, we'll go out into that. You looking that way, you sell, and they bottled out a bit and gone, I'm not going for that gap. They stop, you're like, poof. Or worse, when it's the van behind you that does that to you and is looking for a gap that doesn't belong to them. Goes when they think they might be able to go, but if there's something in front of them, they can't go. And that's really, you just look at other drivers and their behaviour. If you've got somebody who's like being an idiot, really close to the back, and they want to speed down the embankment at 50 or whatever, well, good luck to them. They're going to get caught, aren't they, at some point? Just move out their way. Don't get involved in shenanigans with them or whatever, you know. You are allowed to mutter in your helmet what you think of them. That is definitely allowed.
Done that a few times.
You're allowed to call them your favourite name. Like, you know, mine begins with P, so it's not a problem. As they scoot off and just think, on you go. They'll get caught at some point. The police have got ways of dealing with people. It's not always prosecution. It might well be that they can deal with them by driver courses and all that sort of thing. It makes them think. A lot of people just need that bit of reminder, don't they? Not like you with the advanced lines. If you're coming into work on the same commute every day, if it takes 45 minutes, it's going to take 45 minutes. Whether you speed up or try and weave your way through traffic, you might cut a couple of minutes off it. And we're back to all risk v reward again. You're still going to be late. Think of an excuse to tell the boss why you're going to be late, and then just enjoy the ride into work with no pressure putting on yourself to think, I've got to get into work, and do that.
Yeah, it does make a big difference when you're cycling in or riding in, I guess, to driving in. Because normally if I was driving into central London, I'd have been stressed out, upset, annoyed, sitting in traffic. But I'm a lot more relaxed. I've literally got into central London a lot less time. I don't have to pay congestion charge or ULEZ, so I'm even happier. All of that. I've got £15 extra in my pocket to spend on something else, so yeah.
We covered loads there, right across. I mean, right across the city, covered loads. Use that big position we've got where we are literally sitting up on the bike, we're looking ahead, and we can see the traffic in the distance. We can see pedestrians, cyclists, we can see delivery vans, we can see all that. And when it's raining or cold or whatever in the morning, just make sure that although you're looking up there and you're looking at hazards coming towards you and you're counting them off, there's hazards on the bottom as well. Yeah. So we're looking at grease which might have been dropped off, a dodgy delivery van, grease that's come off a bus or anything at all. There might just be debris on the road, and manhole covers, because I think they've employed people, haven't they, to put manhole covers directly on the line that a bike would take. Yeah. You like that? They've just thought, where should we put these? Which way would a bike go? Put the manhole cover there. That's good. So keep an eye out for them and look for that. But riding the city today, any good?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think the best thing for me is that normally I'd be driving into central London, stressed out, hot, annoyed because I got to pay congestion charge and everything else. But today on the bike, it was just a really easy journey. I'm not stressed. It's very different to normally in terms of like riding by myself and not having that kind of extra kind of guidance in terms of, you can use this lane or you can think to do this and things like that. Especially as a new rider, there's been times when you're learning all this stuff by yourself. So I've done my CBT, and then I've been pushed down to the road, and I'm just there literally just learning as I go along in terms of, okay, so I'm trying to do a left turn, I'm going too fast, I've overtaken I shot past the left turn. So next time I need to slow down at this point rather than at this point. So there's a lot that I'm learning, but it's good to have someone else with the experience to give the extra, in a sense.
Glad it was useful. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. When you've passed your test, just get more training.
Yeah.
Just keep up the training. Even though I was an advanced police rider, and I had to recall loads and loads of times throughout my police career just to keep up that qualification. So it was training. I just kept up at it. Even a couple of weeks ago, I went out with my old riding instructor just to get an unbiased view of me riding. Yeah. And he gave me a few home truths. Had a great day, and I really enjoyed it. And don't forget, you're a Bike Social member. Yeah. So you got loads of access to training on the site. So just keep it up. Keep having fun.
Okay.
Right the way through to advanced training.
Okay, I have to look into that.
Yeah, what was that? Bike Social members can get lots of. Can I do that bit again? Members can get on the online. Okay. Didn't like that bit. Had a great day, and I really enjoyed it. I don't like that one. And as a Bike Social member, you can get lots of rewards, and I can't say that now. Why am I? Lots of extra training. Okay. Either on the site. Fuck that up. It's not either on the site as it is on the site. Just keep having fun.
Okay.
Please.
Yes!
Sorted.